Welcome back, everyone, to the final portion of today's Countdown to Kickoff program. Al DeMarco along with Steve Budin. We've got 4 more games left here on the Sunday card. Let's get with it, Steve. First game up is going to be Dallas, Washington. Of course, when these two met in the Monday Nighter early in the season, it was the first game after Tony Romo had suffered the broken ribs. It was a game in which Dallas managed to win 18-16, but not cover the 3.5-point spread at home. But these two teams have gone in different directions since that point in the season. Cowboys have found a running game with DeMarco Murray. In his 4 starts, they've won 3 of those 4. He's averaged 150 yards a game, the only loss coming at Philadelphia. Meanwhile, Washington wisely finally puts John Beck back on the bench. Of course, that doesn't say a lot because that means Mike Shanahan, who's not the coaching genius you may think he may be. He was a coaching genius when John Elway was his quarterback, but now he's got Rex Grossman, and that puts you automatically at a disadvantage. I think you got to lay the points with the Cowboys. They're on a roll right now.
Yeah, for those of the guys out there that are as old as me and you, they may remember a time when this was a big rivalry game. They always got up for this game. Not anymore. Look, these are 2 teams going in 2 different directions. Washington, in my opinion, complete bust out, complete fake, complete joke. Dallas Cowboys, just when you were getting ready to say no more Romo, all of a sudden he gets healthy, he comes back, he has a good game, and kind of makes you think, well, maybe he could be an okay quarterback. So I like Dallas here. I think they roll in this game. I think that's the way you got to play it.
And they've gone on a 5-2-1 ATS run their last 8 on the road. So I agree with you. If you're going to play it, although I think Dallas last week was the play against the Bills. And
so did the Baltimore Crew.
Yeah, true. The Baltimore Crew as well. That was a great game. But, I still think if you have to play it, you go with Dallas. This next game, to me, throws up a red flag. San Francisco, huge game, huge win. Really dominated from the first quarter on against San Francisco last week. But now you're asking these 49ers to lay the 9.5 against Arizona. On paper, just considering the matchups, 49ers are the play. It's the intangibles. Do they have a letdown? They're a young team. You always got to guard against that. You've got a first-year coach. How does he prepare his team for this possible letdown situation? You've got an Arizona team that's just full with confidence after going to Philadelphia as a 14-point road dog and winning the game outright.
Quarterback controversy now in Arizona. Everywhere this Cobb goes, there's a quarterback controversy. Look, at the end of the day, I agree with you. This would be ordinarily a prime spot for San Francisco to have a letdown. But because I think they're at home, that's going to work in their favor. That's going to be the crowd is going to keep them in this game. Obviously, they're playing great. 8-1, I think, straight up. 8-0-1 against the spread. This is a team that you've made a lot of money betting on week in and week out. You should have plenty of San Francisco bankroll to pad yourself. I would lay the 9.5 points here with San Francisco.
I think that's the only way you can go in that game as well. Next game, the only way you can go with St. Louis and Seattle is do whatever you can not to watch the game,
another
guys.
channel. Go to another channel.
I mean, why are they nationally advertised or even broadcasting this game? I guess there's some people in Seattle and St. Louis that want to watch it, but actually, last week I said that Baltimore was a schizophrenic fraud and that Seattle would probably get the cover, and I told you St. Louis would win outright as the road dog at Cleveland. Granted, it took a bad snap, a botched field goal attempt in the final 2 minutes by the Browns, but you have to count on the Cleveland Browns to screw up games like that. And that will really endear us to all the Cleveland fans watching us on Sports Time Ohio. But this St. Louis team, I mean, they're a different team now that they're getting healthier offensively. Steven Jackson, 3 straight games over 100 yards. When Jackson is healthy, Sam Bradford's a better quarterback with or without quality receivers, and that's why I like St. Louis here, even though the Seattle team has done very well in this series, winning and covering 7 of the last 8.
Yeah, well, the difference is in the beginning of the season, before we started, St. Louis was a team that was picked by a lot of experts to actually make some noise this year. No one gave Seattle a chance, and rightfully so. I don't ever bet Seattle on the road. To me, they're just not a good team when they get outside of Seattle. In Seattle, if they can get an early lead, get the confidence going, get the crowd in the game, they can do great things. That just doesn't happen for them on the road. I think this is an easy game to play. It's not a fun game to watch, but hey, if you bet enough money on it, it could be the Super Bowl for you. I would bet the Rams here.
Okay, I agree with you 100%. Rams are the play. Last game on today's docket is going to be the Sunday Nighter. The Giants and Philadelphia. We have had a string of great Sunday night pairings, not necessarily great games, compared to the Monday night games. I mean, this week, New England, Kansas City, might as well watch and bet the Sunday night game. Would be remiss if I didn't point out your Baltimore Crew, 32-15 the past 4 years combined. Last week, 25-dime winner on Dallas. 2 weeks ago, 50-dime winner, Giants outright over the Patriots. This is their Sunday night game of the year. It's an interesting game. The Giants, of course, took the wood to Philadelphia earlier this season in Philly when people thought the Eagles were a good team. Now, You've got a Philadelphia team that really has dominated the series and a must-win situation after a fourth quarter collapse. Fifth time they've choked in the fourth quarter this year and given up a lead at home against Arizona, against a Giants team that is coming back cross-country after two tough road games. The win, upset at New England, the loss at San Francisco. This is not an easy spot for either one of these teams.
It really isn't. But, I mean, Andy Reid, 13 or 12 years now, the only thing he's been able to consistently do over that term is keep his weight up of about 500 pounds. Look, at the end of the day, the Giants, I love betting the Giants coming off of a loss. To me, that's great. And when you can get them at home in the same situation, even better. So I really like the Giants here. I think this is a great spot for them in Philly. I just don't trust them.
Well, you got Michael Vick playing with the broken ribs. You've got a Giants pass defense that's generated 30 sacks this season.
They're going to be coming for blood.
Exactly. And when you take that element of Vick running around out there out of the equation for Philadelphia, you don't have much of an offense. And, you know, what really surprised me last week against Arizona is Andy Reid, as he often does because he's this West Coast disciple, after 2 straight weeks where the NFL's leading rusher, Shady McCoy, has just been a terror on the field. Last week, he can't even touch the ball. He gets 14 carries for 81 yards, so he's productive. 14 carries? Why isn't the guy getting 25 carries? And this is a game that they've got to run McCoy because the Giants are very soft defensively against the run, giving up 4.6 yards per carry. I think that could influence the total in this game if the Eagles rely more on the run with Vick's injury and the Giants' soft defense. So I can see this game staying under the posted price of 47.
Well, there's a psychological factor at play here, too, especially for the Eagles, who, in the beginning of the season, everybody had such high hopes for them, such big expectations, a lot of pressure with that. Now, everyone's passed on the Eagles already. They think they're garbage. So at this point, the pressure's really off, so we may see a good game from them, certainly more loose than they've been, you know, in the past.
I mean, it was only 3 Sundays ago on a Sunday night game where they just demolished the Dallas
Everybody
Cowboys.
declared they were back.
Exactly. And this Giants team, I will say this, you know, the Giants at home have failed to cover 3 in a row. This is a Giants team that lost outright to Seattle, that played one half of absolutely horrific ball against the Miami Dolphins, who were winless at time at home. This is what you get with the Giants. Tom Coughlin's team, in and out. Eli Manning's had a very good year. They're banged up at running back. Defensively, they're really banged up at linebacker. So you've got 2 injury-riddled teams. I think you go either way. I like the under. You lean a little toward the Giants.
Yep.
But it really doesn't matter what you think. No offense, but it's your Baltimore crew. They're 32-15 over the past 4 years. Whatever they say, I'm with them as well. Hey, guys, that'll do it for this week's edition of the Countdown, the Kickoff Show. Remember, here on the site, click on the ad for this week's fantasy football contest. Remember, it's limited to 100 entrants. It costs you $11 to enter the contest, but the stakes are phenomenal in this contest. The top 4 finish in the money, with first place winning $300, and every single one of you that does better than me.
And that should be everyone. Except me.
Listen, my wife's going to enter the contest. She could probably beat me at it as well. You win $10. So your entry fee is $11. You beat me. Maybe I should just try to lose because I've been trying to win and I've sucked. But you get $10 as well. So check it out. The contest, of course, you've got until 1 o'clock Eastern Time here today, Sunday, to finalize your roster. And remember, this is instant gratification. The contest is over after the Monday night game between New England and Kansas City.
And that's why I love DraftStreet.com. It's because they've changed the game, so to speak. I mean, they've taken it from an all-season-long event to a week-by-week event. That's why gamblers like me and you mysteriously are involved all of a sudden.
Hey, guys, that'll do it for this week's show. By the way, since you're on the site already, check out Insider Money Moves. If you haven't, 3-day free trial, no strings attached. Great time to do it here with all the college football, college basketball, and NFL action. Tons of plays and available from the top sources in Vegas. That'll do it for this week's edition of Countdown to Kickoff. Steve Budin, Al DeMarco. We'll catch you next week.